abantu bangi babadde bakuba ebituli mu lugendo lwa Robert Kyagulanyi Bobi Wine, but particularly ba propagandist ba NRM nga bagamba okuva lwe yagenda awadde mwamiti bahabulwa ebbeetu, amuwadde emirembe n'okwetaaya. Not until nga amateeka gano amapya gayingiddewo okubajjirayo ekifaananyi nti gye mubadde muyita emirembe mirerembe. Era abalala babadde bagamba nti tewali gavumenti eyanguyidde mwami Yoweri Kaguta Tibahabulwa kulembera nga gavumenti wakati w'omwaka gwa 2020 n'omwaka 2025. Era nga abamu bakola ne prediction nti 2026 mpaka 2031 ye gavumenti oba ye term egenda okwanguyira mwami Tibahabulwa okulembera n'obwangu n'obukakamu n'obuwombeefu. Awatali yadde okuba nokolerayo ebimu ku bintu ebiraga nti yeno term newedde ekaluubiridde mwami Tibahabulwa mu byafaayo bye, nammwe kennyini mujja kumpaako obujulizi nti ebimu ku bintu mwami Yoweri Kaguta Tibahabulwa bye yali takola kaakati we twogerera abikoledde mu myaka gino 6 kuva Robert Kyagulanyi Bobi Wine ajja. Mwali muwuliddeko kampeyini ya mwami Tibahabulwa yonna ng'ayogera ku political opponent we, ng'amumalako eddakiika 2, ng'alangirira n'okulangirira nga bw'agenda omunafuya oba okumumalawo. Nedda, buli kampeyini yonna gy'abadde ng'akola abadde nga ajja ayogera ku byafaayo. Bw'aleeta ebyafaayo ebyedda egy'ekinaana, bw'akomyawo eby'olutalo, ng'ayina image gy'ayagala okuteeka mu mitwe gy'abantu aba creating a fear n'okutya. In fact, mwabogera ebigambo ebifaanaganako ng'ebyo njagala tukompeyaringe akalulu akaliwo mu 2021 tugerageranye n'akalulu akaliwo mu 2016 tukompeyaringe n'akalulu akabaddewo mu 2026. Obululu obwo bwonna bwabadde bwanjawulo mu ngeri yaabwo. 2016 kaali ka muliro, naye ate 2021 kaali ka muliro nnyo, ate 2026 ne kabeera ka muliro ddala. In fact kaali kakufana kuwona. Kikulaga kiggwali yatugoberera. Gino emisolo gye mulaba maayuula, ebintu bino amateeka ge bajja babaga okweteekateeka gavumenti kwe mulaba ekole ya NRM temugiyita emirembe, egyo mirerembe. Emirerembe abe NRM gye balimu olwa Robert Kyagulanyi okugenda ebweru w'eggwanga tegirinaalina. Era bw'oba onoonya omuntu alina emirembe n'alina okwetaaya mu ggwanga lino, y'oyo omuntu yekka atalina affiliation ku NRM. Newankubadde nga naawe munnayuganda atalina affiliation ku NRM, oyina by'oyitamu. Naye nga by'oyitamu babikuteekako nga bamanyi tebigenda bo batwaliramu gye biggwera nga nabo bibayooleddemu kanywa. Aba baagira gavumenti ng'amateeka gano ge bali mu kuleeta. Tewali ggwanga tebakikulimba libeerawo nga teriyambiddwako bagwira, kubanga n'amawanga ge tulabanga gakirimaanyi era gagenda mu mawanga g'abaddugavu Abafirika ne gajjayo ebyamaguzi, gajjayo raw material, gajjayo emmere, gajjayo buli kintu gwe kyewali baddoloozaako nga kya bugagga ekibayambako okukola final products ez'enjawulo. Bw'abanga kyeruppe akyetaaga gwe omuddugavu, gw'omuddugavu ojjawo obumalirivu n'obuvumu obutulaga nti gwe tokyetaaga kyeruppe. Nga kyeruppe oyo ye yakufuula independent, in fact nga tafanga obanga system ye tefanga, eyakufuula independent leesa okujjako independence. Ojjaawo gamba you a sovereign nation, buli omu kyadimitinga nti kituufu, naye n'ojja obagetteeka ng'oyagala weegobe ku oli akufuula ky'oli. Awo mba mu kugeraageranya okwangu mba nkutunuulira ng'omuntu alunda ettemanki mu bessalambwa ly'otagenda kulyanva. Era mba nkutunuulira ng'omuntu alunda embwa n'ogigulira emmere n'ogiyonja n'ogikolera buli kimu nga tolina kyogenda giganyulwamu, nga omulimu gwekola gwakwebaka, nga n'omulimu gwe yalibadde kuyamba ogw'okuwa obukuumi tegukuwadde. Kakati yeyo NRM bwe njitunuulira bwe nti ntunuulira akabinja k'abantu abeefuula nti nno bategeevu naye nga tebategeera, abeefuula nti nno bayivu naye nga si bayigirize. Kye kifaananyi bo nga bo kye batuteerawo mwe tuba tubalabira. Robert Kyagulanyi Bobi Wine olwaleero abadde ku Havard. Video njiina tugenda kubeera nga tufuna ebigambo bye ku Havard. Wabula njagala nkunokolereyo ebimu ku binnyumidde. Robert Kyagulanyi Bobi Wine omwagala bangi alina kaagambye nti yali badde alondawo okukwata emmundu n'okulwana. Naye tewaliwo revolution yonna yali ewangudde na mmundu n'ewangaala nga teriimu bwannakyemalira. Buli revolution yonna ewangudde obwannakyemalira mu ggwanga lyonna. Name it. Amawanga mangi agabadde n'ebyafaayo. Kati we twajjidde ku mpewo baganda baffe mu ggwanga erya Syria, I think babadde batandikiddewo kangavvula abakulu abakungu baabwe nga babakangavvula olw'ebyo bye baakola ebitajja bulungi nga tebanna overthrowing government yaabwe. Gwe Munnayuganda lye yatugoberera. Amawanga mangi gabadde ne revolution, gabadde ne military rule. Amawanga mangi military oba amagye ne gawamba abadde bagakulembera. Naye njagala ogenderera ennyo nti amawanga gonna agawambye nga mundu yeewambye, gafundikiro yawambye era atakinga over biri byennyini byabadde avumirira ebyoli mu gavumenti enkadde. Kyovola ye Bobi Wine yakugamba nti yali badde alondawo oludda lw'emmundu kuba obusobozi abuyina era muto. Naye mulimu ku bigambo byayogedde ku Havard agambye nti yalaba nga violence tegattako. Mujjukire mu ntandiko ebintu bino nga byakatandika revolution nga yakajja baayagala okuteeka ku Bobi Wine ne National Unity Platform omusango gw'okubeera akabinja k'abatujju, akabinja k'abayeekera, akabinja k'abantu ab'effujjo. Bobi Wine n'abagamba mumanyi muli b'amaanyi, ebikonde mumanyi okubifunya, muyina ekibuli, muli bamalirivu, naye tuleme kubeera violent. Era ye enjiri ye ebaddeemu be non-violent. Akikonfamingidde mu Havard naga nti nedda engeri yokka ennyangu y'okuwangulamu obwannakyemalira tutandika okufunanga abantu nga be balonda amaanyi gadde mu bantu mu kifo ky'okubeera mu maanyi g'emmundu yakuyita mu nkola ey'obukkakkamu. No matter how long it may take, we shall get there. Katambika kano katumala okukafuna nkomewo. Bwe bamubuuza nti kiki waali badde okola naye n'olondawo okukyenenya, kiki waali badde okola mu budde obwo naye nga wagamba nti kwokireke ku lw'obulungi bwo n'obwabalala, n'agamba nti emmundu ali badde nnondawo emmundu naye nagamba nedda tekijja kukola bwe kityo ku lwa Uganda. Kati mwenna abadde baagala okumufuula omuyeekera. That question covers everything. Oba Kyagulanyi yavaawa? Katugifune.
You see what I could have done differently? I don't like it, I don't believe it, so I didn't do it. And that was picking up guns. We're young people. I'm a bad boy. I'm from the ghetto. And indeed, many have come to us saying, Bobi, you are young, we are many, we are desperate, we have nothing to lose but everything to gain. Let's pick up guns and beat up these sons of bitches. I said no, because violence only begets violence. Historically, I've not seen anywhere where violence takes over and you get a smooth democracy. Our desire is to disempower the guns and empower the people. So we would be another group that comes in forcefully and filled with entitlement. But if through this our struggle we disempower violence, then we have empowered the people. We want to change. I mean, we come from a country that has never seen a peaceful transfer of power from one ruler to another. Since independence, 1962, that is 63 years ago. We want to change that in this, our generation. That is why we chose to take the long, painful, but moral path of non-violence. So we could have used violence, but we chose not to. Because also we know that General Museveni has been in power in Uganda for 40 years and he's a violent guy, he believes in violence, so he has, taken all these years stockpiling weapons. We chose not to take him to an area where he's an expert. We wanted to demystify violence by being non-violent. And that rendered all his stockpile of weapons useless. I mean, I'm a guy that shows up with just a microphone and he has no idea how to deal with us. He put me in jail, it got nasty. He releases me, he's in problems. So he's damned when I'm in jail, he's damned when I'm free. No wonder they resorted to abductions and killings and all that. So we could have taken the violent line. We chose not to. We chose non-violence because it has worked in the past. It's hectic, it's painful, but we know when we insist, it will not only work in Uganda, but it will become the new normal for Africa. It's time for constant killing each other is over. Thank you.
Bingi nnyo ebibaddewo era byayogedde ku Havard. Naye muŋŋanye nate mbibawe mu bujjuvu ebigambo byenga bwe byabadde, kubanga ate bwe ntandika okunyumya emboozi mu ngeri eya lulonda kambe nandifundikira nga ate tetuvudde wano. Bwe mbiba wakati kiba kyamakulu nnyo okwena embeera ey'akadata akakawereege ng'eddya ly'obukadde. Katugenderewo obutereevu mu vidiyo eno tumale okufuna nate ebiriyo baganda baffe ate tulyoke tukomewo. Abali ebweru w'eggwanga enkiwa mwami tibahabulwa akaliro k'omwongedde okamuteekako tebabalima nti alina emirembe n'okwetaaga. Ffe bwe tulaba eno amateeka nga gajja nga gatujimba yinuka tumanya nti eriyo pressure ejja naddala okuva e Bulaaya. Eyali abagamba nti teyeetaaga buyambi bw'e Bulaaya ng'alaajana nnyo atokka mulaffe okompesatinga kyabadde afuna e Bulaaya. Mwe bannayuganda nga mmwe temulowooza lwaki emisolo gino girinnya? Gyo nabaddeko ku petrol station nenemerwa n'okunywa amafuta kaneddira ewaka neŋŋamba kaneddira ewaka ntambula ndagawa. Anti Museveni bye yatugamba oba tolinaamu ssente beera ewaka totambula. Naye nga ebigambo ebyo teyabyogera lwa kwagala kwe, akalira akawulira. Takyalina funding, takyalina kuvujjirirwa kwatemebwako. Ate nalabye ne World Bank evaayo okwemulugunya ku tteeka lino erya Protection of Sovereignty Bill. Eryo etteeka nalo ligenda kukanyugibwa mu kisero mu bbanga eritali lya wala, kubanga ebitongole ebyenjawulo ebivaayo nga biri emulugunyaako, ebitongole ebirwanirira eddembe nga biri emulugunyaako, nga ne World Bank mwogitwalidde erina okuyambako okuwola bano abamirooni, omanya kaweddemu. Eryo etteeka ligenda kukanyugibwa. Tebaali ekkenneenya bulungi nga tebannaba kulireeta. Baali bamanyi nti bagenda lireeta likangavvule Kyagulanyi, kumbe lirina ebintu bingi nnyo ebiri hidden, ebiri munda mu lyo ebitali byakungulu wano. Kale nno katumale butereevu okugendako mu katambi kano tumale ofundikira n'ebigambo by'omukulu atambudde ne Sheikh Ashraf omulombi w'edduwa. Munoonyeeko enamba yo eri awo gwe nalina embeera muyita etali nnungi akulombera eddwembere ejja kubeera ng'ate efuuka malidaade. Katubifune tukomewo mu vidiyo eddako.
Supporters from all across the divide, from all political parties, mainly opposition political parties. It went on like that until when circumstances determined that I ran for president in 2021. Now this is where the formalization came, that I needed a symbol, not just for me, but a symbol for me and all those that were running on the same values, on the same ideology of servant leadership and taking power back to the people. We needed a political party. We did not intend, I've never intended to form a political party. We were in good terms with the Democratic Party. We were in good terms with the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, and others. Unfortunately, all of them, now this I learned later, that they had an understanding with the regime to disassociate from us. And yes, towards the election, none of us could associate with us because dictators love a divided opposition. And I'm saying opposition with quotes because some opposition, most of them are not intending or are not targeting removal of the regime, but just to up their status within the regime. So we very cunningly and creatively co-opted an unknown political party. It was called National Unity Development and Reconciliation Party. Silently and through a proxy, we changed its name, changed its colors to our preferred colors. She also changed the symbol, and we held a secret delegates conference, and I took over the leadership. Why did we do that? Because the regime, we wanted to formalize the People Power movement and turn it into a political party, but the regime gave an order not to register us as a political party because they knew what it would turn up. Anyway, fast forward, we took over this new political party, and in a shocking revelation, we held a press conference and said, ladies and gentlemen, now we have a new political party, and we held a secret delegates conference, and here I am. I'm the president of that party, and the nation went into a frenzy. Now, this was just a month and a half towards the main election. We were able to nominate on that political party, and we won the election, although it was rigged. We got many more members of parliament, and we suddenly became the leading opposition political party. Yeah.
So I wanted to come to that election.
I must mention this, I'm sorry. I must mention this to draw clarity between activism and former political party. We have said it before that we are not a political party, and yes, we are not. We just have a political party. We took over that political party to have a formal and legal platform, an electoral platform as a political party. But to solve our problem, we are the People Power movement, not the National Unity Platform. We just have a political party, but we are a movement. I don't know if I make it more clear.
Yes, no, I understand. I mean, I think also what you've just demonstrated, it's almost like show, don't tell, the link between theater, which is the like reveal of who we are, the colors, the flag, the icon of the party, and the law, which is you have to find a path. It has to be something that's not obvious because there was an attempt to deny you the right to register. So those trainings served you well. At the end of the day, you're still a lawyer and a theater and music.
Drama school did it. Drama school did it.
So I wanted to dig into the election a little bit because we have many sort of politically minded people in the room. I hope all of you will actually contest power, do the hard thing. You can ask our guests today what it's like. But in January of this year, President Yoweri Museveni was declared the winner of the presidential elections, marking his 40th year in office. There were widespread allegations of human rights abuses, fraud. We heard about the abuse and torture that you and your family have experienced, and for that, we're so sorry. You were declared officially the runner-up. Can you walk us through what the experience is like contesting elections that you know are not free and fair, and what was gained in spite of that?
Yeah, it's a long story. I wish I could, in just half a minute, take us back to 2021 because that was the first time I ran for president. I was aware of General Museveni. I was aware of how captured all institutions are, including the police and the military, the parliament, everything. And indeed, in Uganda, like some other places in Africa, running or contesting against General Museveni is contesting against the Uganda People's Defense Forces, the Uganda Police, the Bank of Uganda, every institution of state. You can see this. Just yesterday, his son, General Muhoozi, who is the Chief of Defense Forces, had his birthday, and all soldiers were ordered to put on his t-shirt and go running. This included some ministers, some generals, and he's always on Twitter, speaking his mind, however, hollow it might come off to many of us. And he was ordering all former military commanders to show up if they don't want to have a problem. Anyway, so we went to that election. I went into that election because our major goal that time was to bring our common people close to their politics. You see, we come from a country that for a very long time has made an effort to disassociate politics from the common people. And the common people are the masses, to the extent that they didn't know, neither did they care about how they are governed. But in 2021, we were able to awaken the people and show them the importance of politics and why they must come out and vote. And indeed we won, but it was, rigged. So coming back to contest in 2026, it was a huge debate. Personally, I had endured so much. I'd seen hundreds of my friends killed. For example, 19th and 18th of November 2021, hundreds were massacred on the streets, although the government only acknowledged killing 54. So I didn't want to run again. But again, we needed to use the election again, since it's the only opportunity we get to speak to the people. We are heavily gagged, heavily controlled, heavily, intercepted everywhere. So we ran again. This time we had a mission to unite the people of Uganda, but also to be able to reach every corner of the country. That was our only excuse to speak to the people, because I was a presidential candidate. And indeed, the presidential campaign was given 112 days, and I was campaigning every single day of those 112 days. I reached every corner of the country. Of course, amidst tear gas and bullets. And we were able, to once again awaken the people of Uganda. Of course, it called for more brutality now because the people were more charged. As we speak now, people are being abducted. As a matter of fact, as soon as we cast, my wife and I, as soon as we cast our vote and returned home, we were immediately surrounded by the military. We knew it would happen, but this time it was more, because by the time we had the election, the internet was switched off 2 days before. Radios and TVs were switched off, those that were not pro-regime. Journalists were ordered not to cover the election. As usual, international observers, those that were not compromised, were locked out, and we went into the election. So here we are, my wife and I, locked up in our house and surrounded by the military. The following day, we were raided by the military on the orders of the Chief of Defense Forces. And that night, because I had learned a lesson in 2021, I had anticipated that raid. And our friendly people within the forces had warned us that there was an order from the Chief of Defense Forces, who is the son of the president, that I should be disabled fundamentally. Whatever that meant, for me, it rang a bell. So I played a ninja role and disappeared. And disappeared from my house. We call it Robert style. On the 16th, they didn't get me, but that day they did not break into my house. I remained at large. I wanted to be able to charge up my people, to be able to communicate, because I knew they would lock me in my house, cut off the internet, and isolate me from the rest of the world. That went on for another week. Now, on the 23rd of January 2026, after looking for me for a week and a few days, and they couldn't find me, the son of the president got so angry that he raided my house. This time they broke into my house, found my wife, beat her so bad, they beat my family members, they stripped my wife naked. Meanwhile, they were filming and taking pictures, the same pictures that later on Museveni's son, who is the Chief of Defense Forces, tweeted in his, usual tweets, erratic tweets, for lack of a better word, saying this is Bobi's wife when we captured her. Now, those who don't know Muhoozi Kainerugaba, let me give him free marketing. Please follow him on Twitter. He's Muhoozi Kainerugaba. It will help for you to see what he does. Many of you know about the story of Idi Amin. We have a new one who is more crude. He does not pretend, unlike his father, he does not pretend to be a good dictator. He said on Twitter that he would abduct my bodyguard, torture him, and he did that. Stripped him, shaved him, his beard and hair, and put him on Twitter. He does that. He has bragged for killing 23 of my friends, and he was looking for me to be the 24th dead body. He once again also ordered me to show up in 24 hours or they will find me and kill me. And when I didn't show up, he gave an order publicly that I should be delivered dead or alive. He also ordered publicly that I should be castrated. So the military and the police mounted roadblocks everywhere in the country.
You wanted your balls.
Looking for me, yeah, looking for me. When they didn't find me, they kept raiding my friends, members of parliament and all that. He raided the home of my personal assistant when he didn't find me, because he was looking for me. When he didn't find me, they abducted the wife and kept her in a military barracks for 37 days. And in those days, we don't know to the extent what exactly took on, but she told us, among other things, that they removed her contraceptive, her IUD from her. This is a military barracks and many other things. So knowing that, I knew that the first time they get their hands on me, I was a dead man. Once again, I played James Bond and in a Robert Dog style exited the country, and here I am. Yeah.
Many people are very grateful that you're here today, but it's also, I know, a heavy weight to be in exile. So I wanted to ask, let's see how we're doing on time. I have a few questions, and then I'll hand it over. I mean, just building on these terrible stories of violence and harm, what does keep you going? What makes it worth it for you, especially if you feel like you can't be safely in the country at this moment?
Hope that one day everything's gonna be all right, and the belief that oppressed people can't stay oppressed forever. I mean, we look back in history where we are, so many countries have been there. Kenya was there in the days of Moi, many other countries have been there, but with the persistence of their citizens, they win. And also the enormous support that we enjoy. You see, while many people focus on my own challenges, but I must say that I'm way better than those that we struggle together with. For example, I mean, I have international attention on me, and I'm more like having a spotlight on me. My challenges tend to be shared many times. When I made my way to America, I mean, I have the luxury of having a passport and a visa and affording an air ticket, or having friends that can get me an air ticket to get out of danger. But even when I come to the diaspora, for example, I ran out of my country, my wife left first, we are here in a foreign land, with our 4 children, but we are being embraced. One thing I did not mention, that when the military raided and beat up my house and she ended up in hospital, she escaped from her hospital bed to be able to leave the country. Meanwhile, the military took over my house. Not the home, not surrounding the home, but broke into the house and started living in my house and in my compound. They chased away my house. I would say the main plan is not to give up. Not to give up. In a dictatorship like Uganda, you don't draw plans. Your next agenda is always set by the regime, because you plan to have a rally and you wake up and you're abducted. You plan to speak to the people and you wake up and you're homeless. I mean, hours before, I was a comfortable homeowner back home and a respectable citizen. 24 hours later, I was a fugitive. A month, 2 later, I'm in a foreign country. I always tease with my friends, because when you don't have a home, you're homeless. So we just go by the day, by the major plan is not to give up. Among other things that we are doing or intend to do is to work up the diaspora. When I was forced out of my country, I conditioned my mind to believe that my work has only begun now. So we are on a phase of international engagement. That's what brings me here. That's what's taking me to Havard tomorrow. That's what takes me to Washington to knock all offices and to make sure we don't leave any stone unturned. But most importantly, to galvanize the diaspora. Just like in the days of slave trade, man, we have our best, our cream in the diaspora, in America, in Europe, in Arab countries. The best of us has left home. They are either economic refugees, political refugees, and all that. But these people want to go back home because they are not comfortable and fully living with full dignity on a foreign land. So they want to come back home. We have the best among Ugandans. I've traveled, you go to Europe, you go to these universities and you have Ugandans teaching there. You go to India, you have Ugandans there, the surgeons there. But back home, the education system is rotten, the healthcare system is rotten. These people want to come back home because they know they are going to grow old. But they want to set up a country that will be worth their retirement. So we are reaching out to all those people because we can't reinvent the wheel. When they were fighting against dictatorships like Idi Amin, those that were in exile and in the diaspora played a huge role in the liberation of Uganda. So history is repeating itself, but in a better way. And that is what we're doing, and we keep going. That was the first question. I've forgotten the second question.
I think you answered them together. It was the message, and that was perfect.
Oh yeah, the message to the young people. Don't give up. But not only that, rise to the occasion. Nobody is coming to save you. It is you that is going to determine your tomorrow. You guys are young people here. Me, I'm 44 now. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, damn, I'm 44. I was 34 just the other day. In fact, it's as if 2 weeks ago when I was 25. But we grow so fast. Especially those that are coming from Africa or oppressed countries. Nobody else. You that are here in Havard, man, you are the hope that we are looking for. You have already discovered your calling. Frantz Fanon, you are elites, you are intellectuals, you've read so much. You must have read about Frantz Fanon, who said every generation must, out of deep reflection, discover their cause, their mission, and choose to either betray it or pursue it. Now I have no doubt that you know your mission. You know what your countries can be. It's up to you to betray it or pursue it. You can pursue it. We are relying on you. Me, I'm here. I'm only speaking this, but I'm not an intellectual. I came to run for president when I didn't even have a university degree. You are the intellectuals of Africa. You must help yourselves by helping your people. That's a country, whatever country you come from in Africa or in any other oppressed country, you will have to go back. So play a role, rise to the occasion, and lead. People like Kwame Nkrumah, people like Mugabe when he was still a moral person, people like Jomo Kenyatta, they started from here. What they got from here, came back to Africa and earned us independence. Came back to Africa and earned us better. Are you telling me you are not the offsprings of those people? Yes, you are. So it is your time to be the Kwame Nkrumah, to be the Mandela, to be those great revolutionaries that changed Africa. Thank you.
I think that's the perfect note to end on. We've gone for over an hour. We've gone 15 minutes past our time, and I know that probably everyone wants a photo. I don't know if you're okay with photos. Please join me in thanking our guests.
Okay, twebaza muna babaddeko. Oye President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu.
If you allow me.